Hey guys, Casual Chrono here. In this video we are going to tackle Chapter 118 of Another Eden, Unexpected Allies at the Edax Tree of Time. Now, the wiki, awesome as it is, still is in the process of being updated, so right now there is absolutely no information about Chapter 118 or beyond. However, it was updated for Chapter 117. I finished Chapter 117 very early this morning, like 4 a.m. United States time, and I glossed over one part of it, and I don't know how important it is. I'm going to resume. Steer the ship. So in Chapter 117, you go around collecting all of your characters that have been scattered about the Edax domain. And one of the things that we did, let's head down here. We saved Professor Coup from some ogres, but it wasn't a green question mark. It looked more like bonus material type stuff. And so I thought it would relate to stuff in the future. So I rescued him, the ogres escaped, and I did not chase after the ogres. Well, now that the wiki has been updated, I glanced at Chapter 117, and it looks like I do need to... Well, need is a strong word, because we don't know if we need to or not. Nothing is entered for Chapter 118. But the Dr. Coup stuff and chasing of the ogres was covered in Chapter 117 on the wiki. So I think just to be safe, I'm going to go ahead and knock that out before moving into the heart of Chapter 118. So, that being said, that's what we're going to do first, and then we're going to move into the 118 content. The party that I'm using is the same as the previous 3 chapters, normal style Sesta, equipped as such. She does have her awakened Fenrir proof, which gives her extra health among other things, and a little glowy background. Subami, altar. Melody AS, and with enough gear that she resists pretty much everything 90% of the time. And Shani altar. Supporters with Katana, Relay Grasta, Atoa, and Tome. I like Atoa another style because after each fight she restores the party's health and MP a little bit. Sidekicks are the usual Tetra and Guns. So same group I've been using pretty much this whole time. So let's go ahead and go chase down those ogres just in case they're necessary for stuff later in the storyline. So this area, I didn't really explore too much, come to think of it. Normally I would go back and forth and check out all this stuff out, so let's go ahead and do that just to be on the safe side. In fact, let's go ahead and fight a group of enemies. So the way this particular team works, and I think it works pretty well, Sesta Twin Blades, because that's just what she does. Subami has Dragon Manifest, which reduces wind resistance. Now she is slower than Sesta, so it doesn't usually take effect until turn 2. Melody does Depravity. It inflicts pain on everyone, and it's preemptive, so she attacks and has pain on the enemies before Sesta takes a turn. And then since Shani is Stellar Awakened, she automatically casts Faded Love. So Thorn Wedge is already on Sesta. So Malediction is preemptive. So I can improve Sesta's damage a little bit with Malediction. So that's kind of the go-to. There's Malediction, Depravity. Sesta usually goes next. And as you can see, she usually does not have much trouble tearing things through. Subami just kind of watches. Probably nodding a little bit, going, oh yeah. So we're For those unfamiliar with my walkthroughs, if this happens to be the first walkthrough you've seen of mine, first, I tend to, what my wife calls it, murdering the game. I search every nook and cranny. I'm a completionist. So I'm looking around for sparklies, chests, little hidden paths, whatever I can find. And then the other thing I like to do, I like to edit out the cutscenes. It reduces spoilers, even though I figure at this point if you're watching a walkthrough, you probably don't care about spoilers. But it also shortens the video. For example, chapter 117 took me, it was like 2 hours and 45 minutes to complete. But when I edited it, I got down to 1 hour and 42 minutes. So I basically shortened the entire video by an hour. And the only reason you're looking at a walkthrough is to find, like, how do I defeat this boss, or is there any secret treasure? You know, that's an hour less time that you have to sort through looking for whatever it is you're looking for. So that's those are pretty much the primary reasons I edit my videos. I realize, like, most people are not going to sit there and watch me play a game for 2.5 hours. I found a Toto. Okay. I don't know what this means. Yeah, that was my question. Oh, those stories. I bet you, if you for some reason are watching this chapter walkthrough without having seen the previous chapters, it looks like there's kind of like little tiny stories that have steps. And like, for example, like one character I think was looking for a doll in the desert. So maybe this is related to one of those. All right. There's another sealed door. I bet you there's some type of super boss, like, you know, the Elpis weapons, the Lepid weapons. I'm thinking that these doors might be the path to whatever this chapter's weapons are. Well, anyway, I think that pretty much is this whole area now. And I've already forgotten what it was I was talking about. I was talking about editing the videos and... yeah, bottom line, I want you all to watch my videos and just pull what you need out from them. So if all you're looking for is how to get past a certain area or the password to some combination, you know, I'm happy to help. Alright, let's see, is this a cutscene? It is not, it's Dr. Coux's laboratory. Alright, and I can travel there on the map. Whoops, that's not the map. Do your diaries, kids. Alright. Yep, okay. Nothing this way. Nothing this way. And there's a Toto. I wonder if this is going to be like the Lycas. There's like 100 Totos scattered around the world. You'd think I would have noticed one before now, but technically I really wasn't looking for them. Alright, let's see what's going on in here. Alright, they're going to talk. That means I'm going to open up a can of Mountain Dew. That is not product placement, that is me just genuinely enjoying Mountain Dew. Alright, we have control. Check out the rest of this lab. Alright, looks like that's about it. Looks like we're headed underground in a cat ship. Alright, I have control. We can travel to the depths. The lower floors. Probably like subterranean. Alright, so there's a whole nother map to open up. And of course, there's the ancient battlefield to explore. So what are we going to do right now? We are going to explore it. And Aldo even came up with the idea that there might be some paths to other areas. That is a long map. Okay. You know, I wasn't even paying attention. I might have passed up a Toto's thing. Okay. There's a little exclamation mark. I'll click on that after I've finished looking through the map. Let's see what's down this way. I found a Toto. Oh geez, how many Totos have I probably skipped at this point? I wasn't even looking for them. Oh, I'm sure 77AE will almost no doubt make a video with locations for them all. Excellent YouTuber, if any of you aren't aware of, I'm assuming, his works.
These are the cries of the faceless.
Alright. I don't know how you all play. When I'm running around, my eyes are up here looking at the map. So if I run right by a Toto or really anything, like it's a small miracle, I even notice the sparklies on the ground. That's because my attention is usually up here. Alright, I need a cannonball. That would make sense, it's a cannon. Nothing this way. And usually the only time I drift away and look at the field is when I hit a dead end and I'm running back. Then there's really no reason for me to look at that map.
Sesta will tear you to bits. Die. Listen, these are the cries of the faceless.
I did good, right? Tell me.
What are you? Oh, I got a cannonball. Yay. Alright, let's see what you're guarding. Usually the stationary horrors are in front of a chest.
There. Listen, these are the cries of the faceless.
Return to shadow.
And we get special fragments. Alright, let's go fire off the cannonball, see what happens, and then go to the little green clicky thing. Opened up a path. Where was that? Was that the other end of this road? Yep, okay. And there's a cat statue. Alright, well, let's go click on the green thing and see what happens. Oh, it's a cutscene. Okay. Alright, looks like I have control again, and I am in the operations room. Okay. Alright. So maybe, let's see, the operations room on the world map. Yep, cool. Alright. Alright, so here in the operations room, it looks like, I guess you can talk to characters and go out on missions to seek out more characters that might help you. Alright, these are the folk tales. Alright, again, I'm not sure if these have to be done before you continue with the main story. So... oh, cool. You don't have much, and if I click on this, you have literally everything I've ever encountered. Okay, well, I want to move on with the main storyline. So I guess it's enough for now that we have the operations room operational, and whatever this stuff will lead to, at least we have access to it, and maybe I can make another video about operation room quests or whatever this is here. Though I guess if any of them are required, they'll just be built into some of the chapter walkthroughs. So, that said, let's go ahead and move on to the purpose of this video, which is Chapter 118, shall we? Alright, so we're doing this in Master Difficulty. And it looks like Chapter 18 picks up at the airport. Runs in my mind, we were going to... if we're allowed to, the administrator's office. Alright, cutscene time. We're not going to the administrator's office. Alright. Headed to the administrator's office. Just checking to make sure nothing else is nearby that's important. Doesn't look like it. Alright. Alright, following that scene, our next target is to go to the airport, which I think we can just warp to. Alright, yep, looks like we're going over there, so... I'm not necessarily worried about the enemies, just I've already fought them a few times, don't really see the point in It's not like I need the experience. Oh, so these Imperial guys have moved out of the way. Now I wonder if that means the Imperial guys we've run into in the previous chapters, like in the... oh geez, where all were they? There's one in Satellite Stadium area. Pretty sure there was one in Omegapolis. I wonder if they've all kind of stepped aside too. That would be something maybe to look into. Or if it's just this guy. Alright, we got some Tree of Time remix music going. We can now travel to it on the world map. And we are going to explore this place, like we always do. And already found a monster nest. Alright. I definitely see a horror down there. Let's go see what it's like, shall we?
Chester is ready.
How's this?
Listen. These are the cries of the voiceless.
Oh, this one had a lot of health. And not much damage. Alright, Cesta should knock through this.
Listen. These are the cries of the voiceless.
Oh wow. At least that thing doesn't do really any damage. Okay, third time's a charm, right? Go, Cesta.
Listen. These are the cries of the voiceless.
Alright, and for our trouble we get Luring Shadow's Sword, which would be great for Minalka. Alright, it wants us to go this way, therefore we go this way. Oh, and a hidden chest with gold. Oh, if you're short on cash, there you go. And automatic cutscene. Alright, that was a very brief scene, probably not worth editing out. Alright, nothing this way. Except alright, next floor, so to speak, next area. Nothing this way.
Who should I kill?
I'm right here with you.
Alright, let's see if Cesta can knock out 4 at once.
These are
Oh,
the cries
yeah,
of the
try.
voiceless.
No problem.
Phew, good job. I mean, whatever, dudes.
Okay. The little green question mark is not in this area. Let's kill the bird.
Sure, we can fight in the light.
Gets us closer to those kill 100 achievements.
Listen, these are the cries of the voiceless.
And we get scrolls, which is nice because I just used a bunch of them. And more gabble, which I really haven't found a use for yet. Hello, what's this? An inactive old device. Let's see if we can find something that will activate it. Alright, yes, I see the cube up there. Backtracking, let's see. I wonder if that will provide enough power for that device. Okay, nothing this way. Doesn't seem to be anything this way. Alright. Yes. Let's put the lantern in there. Alright, so the old device can now be activated. Is there any reason why I would not want to go? Yeah, let's just do it. I was thinking if it rewound time, maybe some other paths might open up, but yeah. Next area. Okay. Let's knock out this horror again.
Sister is ready. Listen, these are the cries of the voiceless. Take this.
One interesting character building point, I've mentioned it in some of my other videos, Tsubame Alter has the Alter ability that whenever there's a zone deployed, it lasts a little bit longer. And as you know, hopefully, Melody AS deploys zones kind of automatically. So every time I get an Awakened Wind zone, I have it for 6 whole turns, which is plenty of time for Melody to build back up her I almost call them depravity stacks. But basically, this team will have an endless Awakened Wind zone unless bosses break it up completely. Alright, stupid trivia aside, let's reduce wind resistance, let's boost weapon damage. Sesta will probably go before both of them.
These are the cries of the voiceless.
But now Sesta should be a lot more powerful with the next Twin Blade Wolf. In fact, I'm so sure Sesta's going to finish the job, I'm going to switch back to standard so I'm ready to go for the next fight.
Move. Listen, these are the cries of the
Oh
voiceless.
yeah, no problems.
Sesta did good.
Now, I haven't really been paying that close of attention, but I've not seen any of those Toto stalls. So maybe those Toto stalls are limited just in that one zone? That's looks like a respite kit thing. And no, I have no idea where I'm going. Alright. Looks like if you need a lantern, you have to go up there. And the fact that it exists means that we probably need the lantern. Alright, let's check out this direction next. Oh, okay. Looks like we can light the lantern in multiple spots. Alright, let's go find ourselves some lanterns then. Or are there just 2 lanterns? That might make sense. Sure. Alright, looks like we need a second lantern. Well, we know where one is. Finish up exploring this area. Nothing that way. No hidden paths that way. Alright, let's go get that second lantern. I sure hope 2 is enough, because I have not seen a third. Alright. Yep, that was enough. Going up. Oh. Okay. Oh, cutscene. Alright, that was brief. Had control again. We found guilty Hades and are continuing our exploration. Why does this look like a good place for a boss fight? No, guess not. I would have gotten the message, major trial and all. Oh, whole nother area. Alright, Aldo with the premonition. This place is going to be heavily guarded. AKA boss fight. We didn't have one in chapter 117, so we're about due. Alright. Oh. Alright, another brief cutscene. Nothing. Another one of these Crystal of Lives blocks. I wonder if those missions from the Rift Breakers, or sorry, Synth Hydra's operations room, I wonder if each one allows me a way to pass those mechanisms. It's an interesting thought. Just not sure if that's actually the case.
Listen. These are the cries of the voices.
Phew! Good job! I mean, whatever, dudes.
Looks like there's a cube over there. If we are able to turn back
We
time,
can be cubes. And I can
maybe
be
we can
hearts.
restore that
Which do
path.
you like, dear?
What are you? Oh, okay, we could maybe do something like that. Doesn't look like there's anything over there. Alright. Well, first things first, let's check this area out. More gabble. Alright. Looks like that will probably have to wait. I didn't see anything that would allow us to restore the path. Alright, bottom row, nothing. That row, not much. This row, a very mad creature. Some Crystal of Lives. Now the question is, did I cut off a different path? Let's see. Alright, I saw a cube up there. Let's go get that cube before I start messing too much. No, gold. You know, I remember a time 2 years ago where I actually struggled for money. I couldn't even bind Grosta because I didn't have enough money. And now I have like 136 million. It's interesting. I realize now I've been playing since the game started, but I would frequently take very long breaks. When I say breaks, I mean like months. You know, I didn't start making YouTube videos until not even 2 years ago. The first 3 or so years, I was just playing the game like most everyone. And I remember the struggle. I remember not knowing how to assemble a team that worked together. I would just throw together whoever was at the top of the tier lists and hoped for the best. And it really, and I remember like struggling for money. I remember, let me zoom out here really quick. I remember just running the Vermilion Road up and down, just collecting like fragments of attack, so I could finally awaken, you know, like one single like fire Grosta or something. And now, of course, are the Grosta pieces? now I have 60,000 fragments of attack. Heck, I have 57 Jadites of attack. Now, I could blow them all. I haven't, I haven't upgraded every single thing I have, but I remember the struggle. Oh, there's a path this way. I remember the struggle very vividly, and I remember having a very hard time with this game, and it was actually kind of killing my motivation because I struggled so much just to kill trash mobs. By the time I got to bosses, I was completely out of food, at half health, and it was not fun. And that's kind of what led me, once whatever it was clicked in my head, and I went, oh, this works, I should share it with others. Because, back in the 80s, 90s, when I grew up, we used to actually play video games together. We'd all get together at someone's house. One or two people would be controlling the game, and the rest of us would be like, hey, try this, try that. And we've kind of lost stuff like that in the digital age a little bit. At least people maybe in my generation have. I don't have adult men coming over and watching me play another Eden. That almost seems weird to me now, but that's kind of what we did as kids. So, one of the reasons I've spent so much time on this channel discussing strategies, it's really to try and help you all, because I'm sure many people, particularly ones that have picked up the game more recently, really don't have a good starting point. And let's be honest, the game itself does not do the best of jobs explaining how to assemble teams, how to overcome challenges. I mean, yeah, we could just lower the difficulty down to the easiest level. Make sure that stayed at Masters, yep. And, progress that way, but, what's the fun in that? I like challenges. Alright, speaking of challenges... Oh, nope, still. I'm waiting for the... hey, we're about to fight a boss. Oh, this sure looks like if there was a boss fight, there should be one here. Major trial. A great challenge awaits you. Proceed anyway, your movement in the Edax domain will be restricted. Well, let's take a look. Full health. Correct sidekicks. And Sesta has gear, which is kind of the important one. Well, let's see what in the world we're about to do. I have no idea what's going on. So, have not watched any YouTube videos. I don't even know if there's any YouTube videos out yet. I'm sure a few streamers probably have streamed their, binged all the chapters by now, but well, let me shut up and see what's going on. Alright. Hollow Clock Master difficulty. With a defense system. Okay, 6 bits nullify attack. That was very quick. I don't know what that said. Defense bit. Okay, I think we need some status checks here. Alright. Okay, the defense bit, physical magical resistance is enhanced. Nothing. Nothing. Alright, dimensional corrosion. Minus 3%. So I guess the longer this fight goes, the weaker my team is going to be. This thing's physical magical resistance is 50%. It revives twice. So the big question right now is, do I attack this? Or do I go straight for this? Let's... Or do I actually attack one of them? Let's just try this and see what happens. Alright, we're going to Malediction, Depravity, Dragon, Twin Blade.
Listen. These are the cries of the voiceless.
Oh wow. Okay. And this one's kind of damaged too. Alright. The Dimensional Corrosion triggered. Alright, these three things rotated, but none of them are red right now. Ah, attack bit. Which one's the attack bit? I don't know which one the attack bit is. Is it the Triforce looking thing? It is. What are you? Defense bit. Defense bit. Alright. Well, this is a learning experience. Let's get Gunce's aura going. Let's get the 20% boost to everyone. Let's blow the AF gauge. We'll focus on the attack bit first. And it looked like I wasn't paying that close of attention, but I saw some zeros up here, so I don't know if I can actually attack... What is this, the core? The clock itself. Okay. So we are going... It looks like Depravity needs to be reapplied, because it looks like they rotated out. So let's do this. We'll blow the AF gauge, do all 3s, all 2s, and then all 1s, and just see what we can kill. 3, 3, 3, 3. 2, 2, 2, 2. 1, 1. Alright. Looks like there's an HP stopper or something. I'm going to Twin Blade just because I want to see if there's like a barrier or something. Alright, I don't see anything. But I'm definitely not doing damage to the clock, so... Alright, we should have Gunce's aura in effect. And we wiped out all 3 of those at once, so let's see what that means. I'm just going to rotate in some more. Maybe these are the first 3. Because I defeated 1. Oh yeah, look, it has some health lost. Okay, so... Let's Twin Blade, let's Injaku, let's Dark Drill, and we already did 3, 2, and 1, so let's just do that.
Listen.
See what we can kill.
These are the cries of the voiceless.
Alright. Bunch of zeros. I'm not worried about that. Shut down defense system. Does that mean I can do damage now? Well, let's test it. Alright. Let's... Oh yeah, it says weak now. Good. Alright, let's burst with those 2 abilities. Looks like we were able to use up a life. Good. Alright, I'm going to assume that's going to revive all 6 of those things again. Ooh, that's not good. Does that mean I have 10 turns until destruction? I wonder if I can still damage it. You know what? We're just going to blow the AF gauge again. threes, twos, and ones and see if we can knock out another life. 3, 3, 3, 3. 2, 2, 2, 2. Yep, looks like we knocked out his second life. So now I'm just trying to build up the stellar gauge as much as possible, in case I need it for the future. Throw in a twin blade just for kicks. Ooh, was that a 5 billion damage? I think that's an all-time high now. I saw a 5.1 or 5.2. I'll see in editing. Alright, there goes our life point. Reset counter. Oh, great. Only 5 turns. Alright. Those bits did not come back. Well, this worked before. Still says it's weak. Alright, looks like it's dead. Is there like a part 2 to this fight? Or is there a surprise? Nope. Alright. Master difficulty. Knock out the 6 little Triforce looking things. And then this thing is weak from that point forward. At least to wind or slash. I guess to everything, maybe. Oh, are we done with that chapter? Alright, I will be unable to travel to the Edax domain for a while. Okay, I can travel on the world map. Yep, I cleared chapter 118. Stellar Awaken Styles? I didn't Stellar Awaken anything. I mean, I pulled Jellyfish Girl, but that was even before the chapter started. Did Aldo? Alright, well, either way, there's no controls, there's no map. So I don't have a choice, I have to walk over here. Oh wow, we're doing this, huh? Yes, I need a refresher. I don't remember. It's been so long. Skill details. Okay.
This is Sundays for Dogs. Sundays is human-grade, air-dried dog food. 90%.
That gives me. I don't know if it will show up in the tower. Use the. Let's see how these work in a fight. So my general strategy. The very first thing to do is reduce the enemy's power. Now you might not have the 45% power. Yours might be one of the lower attack. It might be less. It might be 50% or hold up. Now, once there's buff, I try to immediately element. Alright, well, it looks like these are not the same commands as when we used to use this. I remember having like Giga Quake and stuff like that. So let's see. Alright, so this thing goes fast. Alright, well, we can inflict break, we can stack energy and grant link, and we can inflict break and barrier pierce, and blast things with a beam. Okay, wait, did that say Instellar Burst? Oh. So, Guilty Hades has a stellar system, and that would be the 40th one for that achievement. Okay. Well, first things first, let's go ahead and grant link to everything. It says it's weak to this blunt attack. Alright. Frame improves for 5 turns. Ignore target defenses. Some sort of defense. Let's go ahead and improve. Let's improve the max HP. And it looks like this is the heal, so let's reduce enemies' power and intellect for 3 turns. Anything that reduces incoming damage, I'm all for. That still hurt pretty bad. Use the right arm to activate Eternal Guard A. Alright. Preemptively takes all damage and gives a damage barrier and shield. Okay. Let's go ahead and do, I guess, a stellar healing. Let's do a... Let's go ahead and start attacking. Is the thing buffed? It does not look buffed. Let's see. We granted Link. Let's go ahead and reduce its physical and magic resistance. This thing has a lot of health. Okay. Issue the repair command to your head unit. Must be... Must be stellar healing. Sure, let's do that. Alright, let's go ahead and give hold ground. Let's attack. And what should you do? let's, I don't know, inflict break, something. Oh wow, that did a lot of damage. Repair and shield are your most important tools. Alright. So let's go ahead and guard. And I guess we need to heal. Let's attack. And attack. Alright, that knocked him out again. Never even got to see the stellar burst gauge. Okay, I'm not 100% sure what I did, but it seemed to work. So if you need to follow along, that was Master Difficulty if Master Difficulty affects those things. Alright. Edax Abyss is a dungeon where I control Guilty Hades. The goal is to defeat those things, power up Guilty Hades, and then ultimately defeat Xeno Hades. Alright, the enemies that spawn have their difficulty configured. If things feel a bit overwhelming, go ahead and switch to beginner. There are several small dungeons known as mazes. You can also use them to power up Guilty Hades. And by tapping Guilty Hades, you can warp back to the starting point. And you can also get ability crystals. Alright. And those are the only 2 pages. Okay. Am I allowed to warp yet? Let's see. Pause. Okay. Oh, is that Nilio's quest? Cool. Alright. So, if you need to go run your dailies or whatever, you can pause and warp out of there, and I assume
And I can be hot. Which do you like?
we would, when we resume, we can't go the overworld, we're forced right back into the abyss. So I guess if you need anything in the overworld, yep, unless I'm just missing a button somewhere, I guess you can't get it until you finish this portion of what should be now chapter 119? Yep. Alright, we're going to pause there, because this is the start of a new chapter, and we're going to go into the Edax Abyss. So, anyway, that was chapter 118. Hope this helps. Casual Crono, signing out.